structure. It was the artery through which everything flowed: food, fuel, medicine, and hope. Without it, the peninsula became an island, isolated, uncertain, and terrified. For months, people had relied on that route to stay connected to the mainland. Convoys of trucks used to move daily, carrying everything from flour and gasoline to construction materials. Once the bridge was damaged, those convoys stopped coming. Supplies dwindled within days. Gas stations shut down, grocery stores emptied, and the fear of running out became real. People began hoarding whatever they could: bread, water, batteries, candles. Within a week, even those small comforts disappeared. In towns across Crimea, panic became the new normal. Families packed whatever they could fit into their cars: blankets, food, medicine, and memories. The highways north turned into endless lines of vehicles, some moving only a few meters an hour. Parents kept their children close, whispering reassurances they didn't believe. Every mile they drove took them further from their homes, but closer to the unknown. Elderly residents who had lived their entire lives on the peninsula wept as they left the towns their family built generations ago. Many said they never imagined leaving, but staying meant risking hunger, isolation, or worse. The exodus wasn't just about fear of conflict. It was about survival in a place suddenly stripped of the basic means to live. Along the coastline, ferry terminals overflowed with people desperate to cross. The lines stretched for kilometers. Tempers flared, supplies ran out, and some people camped for days hoping their turn would come. The sight was haunting. Families sleeping in cars, headlights glowing through the fog, and a cold wind sweeping over the sea as people waited to board ferries that were never enough. The destruction of the land bridge sent shockwaves far beyond Crimea. Every delivery route that once carried goods into the region was now useless or under constant threat. Local authorities tried to maintain calm, promising that new routes would open, but few believed it. The internet became unreliable, communication spotty, and rumors began to replace CTS. Some said new strikes were coming. Others said the remaining bridge spans were too unstable to use. Fear traveled faster than any official statement. The impact was immediate and visible. Supermarkets turned into shells of what they once were. People lined up outside stores before sunrise, hoping to find bread or bottled water. Pharmacies ran out of essential medicines, forcing many to trade or barter. Taxi drivers and delivery workers began charging enormous fees, knowing fuel was gold. Black markets appeared overnight, a liter of gas selling for 10 times its old price. For the military forces stationed there, the loss of the bridge was catastrophic. Every operation depends on supply: fuel, ammunition, equipment, food. Without a steady line of resupply, units were forced to ration everything. Vehicles sat idle, grounded planes were cannibalized for spare parts, and soldiers began scavenging local resources just to keep going. What had been a symbol of strength was now a symbol of weakness, a reminder that even power crumbles without logistics. Civilians caught in the middle faced impossible choices. Some tried to stay, hoping for repairs or aid. Others realized that waiting could mean being trapped indefinitely. The longer the bridge stayed down, the smaller their chances became. The peninsula's ports couldn't handle the volume of people or goods needed to sustain millions. With ferries running limited trips, escape turned into a lottery. As days turned into weeks, the desperation deepened. Reports emerged of people sleeping on roadsides, fuel tanks empty, nowhere to go. Others began crossing fields and forests, taking dangerous backroads to reach areas still connected to the mainland. The once thriving tourist resorts of Crimea, filled with summer visitors, became ghost towns: shutters drawn, pools drained, silence hanging heavy over what used to be places of laughter and sunlight. For the younger generation, this crisis felt surreal. Many grew up seeing the bridge as a symbol of progress, of connection. Now, they watched it crumble and realized how fragile that sense of stability had been. Social media filled with videos of the chaos. Endless lines of cars, the glow of fires in the distance, people shouting at checkpoints. Every image told the same story: the peninsula was unraveling. Economically, the collapse was devastating. With trade routes severed, factories shut down, jobs vanished, and small businesses went bankrupt. Fishermen couldn't get fuel for their boats, truck drivers had nowhere to deliver, and farmers couldn't move their harvests. The cash economy broke down, replaced by barter and desperation. Prices soared. A loaf of bread that once cost a few rubles now cost hundreds, if it could be found at all. The humanitarian toll grew each day. Aid organizations struggling to reach the region warned that food insecurity and medical shortages were becoming critical. Pregnant women, the elderly, and those needing medication were hit hardest. In hospitals, generators ran low on fuel, forcing medical staff to ration power. Doctors performed surgeries under flashlights, and families brought their own blankets and candles. Every disaster has a moment when people realize there's no going back. For Crimea, that moment came when residents stopped asking when things would return to normal and started asking where they could go next. The exodus became unstoppable. Columns of cars moved through the night, headlights flickering as drivers followed the faint glow of taillights ahead, guided more by hope than direction. What's happening now is not just a collapse of infrastructure. It's the collapse of confidence. The bridge was supposed to represent permanence, but its destruction showed how temporary control can be. When the physical link disappears, so does the illusion of safety. Every broken span, every cracked road becomes a message. Nothing here is certain anymore. For the outside world, this crisis carries a lesson that goes beyond geography or politics. It shows that no matter how powerful a nation may appear, its stability depends on the smallest things: a bridge, a road, a supply line. Once those are gone, everything else begins to crumble. The loss of the land bridge didn't just isolate Crimea, it exposed the fragility of systems built on control rather than resilience. As the days pass, the stream of people leaving shows no sign of slowing. They carry what little they can, driven by exhaustion and fear. Behind them lie silent towns, darkened homes, and the ruins of what was once a lifeline to the world. Ahead lies uncertainty, but at least for now it's movement, a chance at survival. For those still trapped, each sunrise brings new anxiety. Will supplies come? Will the ferries run? Will they be able to reach their loved ones? In the quiet hours, the only sound is the wind moving across the empty bridge, a reminder of what once was and of how quickly it all disappeared. Thank you for watching. If this story moved you, don't forget to like and subscribe, because what's happening in Crimea isn't just about a lost bridge. It's about how fast life can change when one connection, one route, one fragile piece of infrastructure gives way. It's a reminder to the world: stability is never guaranteed, and the moment we take it for granted, it can vanish overnight.